Sharon Caddy and Christine Bentley in studio, and in our quest to always help you look your absolute best, we welcome back to studio Linda Murphy, co-founder at Clarity Med Spa and Laser Center, and medical aesthetic services provided to you. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning
Looking
to you
lovely
both.
as always.
Thank you for having me, by the way.
Oh.
And thanks for the compliment. I'll take it. Thank you.
Today we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about that one procedure that so many people are talking about. That's cool sculpting.
It is. And I'm wearing the cool sculpting uniform
How about
today.
you?
Look at me.
It's so funny because we've been talking this week about, remember the Biggest Loser and how they lost all that weight and then the body regains the weight. And cool sculpting, it doesn't happen with that.
No, it doesn't.
Why? So
well,
tell our listeners about cool sculpting and what the process is.
Okay, so cool sculpting, I'll open with it's not a weight loss program. But what happens is any inches that you've lost with cool sculpting, those inches, that where we've treated you with cool sculpting, that destruction, that fat loss is permanent. Because what we're doing is wherever we apply the device, and there are a number of zones that we can apply cool sculpting. You can go on the abdomen, inner thighs, outer thighs, flanks, muffin top, midriff, back fat. So wherever we apply it and wherever we treat, the cells that are treated in that zone are permanently destroyed. So any one application, it's like a big suction cup.
Yeah, I was going to say, could you take, for people that have heard of it and see commercials all over the place for it online, when they go in for a cool sculpting treatment, what are they going to experience?
What are they going to experience? Well, the first thing they're going to experience is a consultation to make sure that they're in fact a good candidate for cool sculpting. So at Clarity Med Spa, we might move you through some other modalities like Exilis Elite or Vanquish. We might suggest that, you know, this is not the treatment for you. Perhaps it's surgery. But once we've sifted that out and said, okay, you're a great candidate, and most people are, in terms of the non-invasive body shaping devices, cool sculpting is the number one. It's the number one worldwide treatment. So most of our clients, we try to channel them into that treatment because it has the best result. So, but if you're not a good candidate or you're contraindicated, we're not going to do that. Square peg in a round hole, it's not going to happen. So we do the consultation, and when you come back, what you can expect is to be fairly comfortable. This big suction cup is going to sort of grab your fat. It's awesome. So the way I could grab, in the consultation, I grab and manipulate where the device will suction in, but we grab sort of handfuls of fat, and it clamps on. It's a vacuum. Like when you're a kid and you take the vacuum cleaner and you suction up your leg. You know, it's like, oh, look at that. And so we suction that on. It stays on. It's pulled into a cup, like this big cup, and the freezing kicks on. And over the period of an hour, the cells are destroyed. We remove the suction. You go home. And so if you only do one zone, you go home after an hour. And over the next 30 to 90 days, those cells that were destroyed are eliminated. So your body will eliminate those dead cells. So going back to the Biggest Loser, the Biggest Loser has lost weight, but they have not lost fat cells. So when they put weight back on, those fat cells are ready to get fatter and fill once again. With cool sculpting, where we've treated you in that spot, you won't gain weight on those fat cells because there's nothing there. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does make sense. Now, you mentioned earlier, this is not a weight loss program. What it really is for some of us who, at certain stages of life, you have a pocket somewhere, and it doesn't matter how hard you exercise or maybe you are at the right weight, but you have a pocket of fat somewhere that you just cannot get rid of.
Most of our clients that excuse me that come in have excellent BMI, like a really good BMI, and they're coming with stubborn fat. They work out, and it's that love handle that ain't so lovely.
And it's so frustrating when you have made the effort, you're eating properly, you've worked out, you're in the best shape of your life, and you still have that.
Yeah, you're in the best shape, or maybe you're in menopause, or there's some areas personal trainers will tell you, we don't spot treat fat when you're training. So it's a problem area fat. It's not like if you have 25, 30, 40, 50 pounds to lose. Although the 25-pound person can often still treat spot fat, but we're going to manage that expectation a little differently.
Right. So is this the alternative to what was once popular, which was liposuction, which many people felt could be a little bit dangerous?
It's for a lot of people, it's not even the alternative. It's just the only thing they'll consider. Because for some people, surgery isn't even an option.
Right.
They don't have the downtime. They don't have the stomach for the risk. And because you weigh the risk, there's risk in everything that we do. But cool sculpting is that 1 hour, 1 hour, zero downtime, go back onto your business, no recovery.
Now, one thing I did want to mention, something you had mentioned before, which is you want to check where you're having this done, because there are fakes out there. There are products involved with cool sculpting.
Yeah.
And if it's not the right product, you may not have the anticipated result.
Oh, absolutely. Cool Sculpting, or Zeltique as an organization, has spent a lot of time and money protecting their brand and making sure that their dealers are authorized dealers and that they're following best practices. So even within a Cool Sculpting environment, even if they had the right machine, you want to make sure that your technician, for me anyway, knows what they're doing, because Cool Sculpting really works. So if they put it on in the wrong spot, it's really going to work on the wrong spot. So you want to make sure that your technician isn't someone that just sort of they pulled off the street and said, here, you're a Cool Sculpting technician. That would be a concern for me. So I'd want to know how many treatments you've done. All round, I'd want to know how you do business as a medical spa or as a cosmetic physician's practice. But you do want to make sure that it's a legitimate device. Go on the Zeltique website to make sure that they're an authorized dealer. That's the best way to do it.
This is What She Said, and we are speaking to the co-founder of Clarity Med Spa and Laser Center, Linda Murphy. We've just been talking about Cool Sculpting, which is a way to really freeze fat cells away. But you have more.
We do have more.
You have much more, because people don't want to, they want to look younger, but they really don't want invasive surgery.
They want to look younger. We're finding they want to look natural. And the sort of overinflated, over-exaggerated features for anti-aging are sort of falling to the wayside. People want natural-looking results, but they still want results.
They want results, but I think I once heard Jane Fonda say, she had some plastic surgery in the past, and she said, I'm not doing that anymore. She said, you know what, I've earned my face. I want to keep it looking as good as I can, but I've earned my face, and I don't want it to look like a different face.
Yes. The societies for plastic surgery, both in North America and in the UK, I was just reading some studies, and those studies drive what the drug manufacturers are going to push out and promote and introduce us to. And people, it's always, they want natural looking. Even if someone went for a facelift, the questions are going to be, like, am I going to look the same? Like, am I going to look natural? So the thing is, with a facelift, there's a risk that you won't.
That's right.
There's a risk that you will, but there's a risk that you won't. So that's why services like Ultherapy for skin lifting or soft injections, well-placed injections, can give you that natural look where someone just says, she looks good, rather than, oh, she looks done.
Or she looks like she's slept. She's relaxed.
Yes, fresh.
She looks fresh.
Yeah. And when injections are well placed, sometimes they even say, oh, have you lost weight?
Yeah.
But it's because of where the fillers are placed, you start to get that more of a sculptured face, not a fake face, but it's just not sagging. So it looks like sometimes it looks like you've lost weight.
As women age, is there stuff that they can do where they can literally go out au naturel, like with a little mascara and lipstick, without remember the years when we used to just pile on that makeup to hide everything?
That goes back to that craving for looking natural. And the thing is, if your skin isn't perfect, we crave it, but we don't trust it, because our skin tone and the blemishes and the redness or the pigmentations and the sun damage and the little broken blood vessels don't allow us to look natural. So the first thing to do is find someone in your area that can really look at your skin and find great skincare at home. And then start looking at treatments that address your little problems while simultaneously focusing on your assets. So sometimes as we're aging, the biggest thing is, if you want to go light on the makeup, is great exfoliation. Find a regime at home. Start working with products with retinols, with vitamin C, antioxidants, or look for treatments like Spectra Carbon Laser, which is new to our clinic, which the feedback is fantastic. And that's a laser treatment that you're going to see more and more markets as they roll out. Our clinic tends to be an early adapter for proven modalities. So if something looks great, we're quick to jump on it. Spectra, for the listeners, is a carbon laser treatment, and it's a lotion that's applied all over your face, and your face is black. Okay.
Wow.
And these are carbon nanoparticles that are infused in this lotion. The lotion is put all over your face, and then what we do is we use a laser and pass the laser up and down, across, over the entire treatment area, and the nanoparticles are being burnt off on the surface of the skin. So you see this face that's completely blackened from the carbon particles to right down to your regular skin tone. In the treatment, we basically wipe all the carbon off with the laser. We've got videos of that, so you can see that online.
After
what
the
does that
treatment,
do?
oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Oh, what does it do? So that's the biggest thing. First of all, large pores, blackheads, oily skin. It even addresses oily skin because we're dealing with the sebaceous glands right near the surface. So if someone's got oily skin, acneic skin, pigmented lesions, and it treats every skin type. So on our scale of skin types, we've got really white to really dark skin, like the whitest of skins to the blackest of dark skin. And the closer that you move down from the whites to the fair Mediterranean, South Asian, the browns, and you move closer to truly black skin, as you move down that Fitzpatrick scale, that's what it's called, a lot of people with darker skin cannot do a lot of these treatments, yet they still have the same problems. They still have blackheads, they still have large pores, they still have sun damage or hyperpigmentation. This particular treatment helps all of those skin types wipe out those problems. So it's exciting for us because I don't get to say no to anybody. And people that come in are really counting on something. They're really putting their hopes on a treatment like I've got. It's like, how about this? The darker your skin, if you have acne breakouts, the more prone you are to horrible pigmentation.
Yes.
And on me, I'm a white-skinned Caucasian girl, fair. I can do any laser on me to wipe that out. But my South Asian clients or my friends or the people with darker skin, it's limited what they can do, and you still see those pigmentations.
So would this help with rosacea, with acne scars, with...
Rosacea, I still lead with photofacial rejuvenation because that particular wavelength of light likes red. It sees the red in broken blood vessels, and it sees the red in rosacea. It will see the red that is haloing around an acne breakout. But if it's brownish, so as in a sunspot, or some acne scars leave brown marks, I will lean towards maybe a retinol product at home or a glycolic. So you do a little bit at work at home, and then we hit it with an IPL.
And would that be the same for people that, it's one thing that happened when I was pregnant, I got that pregnancy mask.
Oh,
coloration,
melasma,
and
yes.
some of it stayed.
Yes.
And here 20 years later, still a little bit of it there.
Yes. So 20 years later, if you go in and out of the sun and you're not careful, that melasma can really rear its head. So photofacial is not indicated because it can actually put you over the edge and make it worse. However, we can work with Fraxel, we can work with the Spectra carbon laser treatment. It's very well indicated. And that's what's so great about it because it's a different price point. So it's an easier entry point with Spectra to come in and treat melasma and pigmentation. And it's just available to all the skin types.
That's amazing.
It is amazing.
You know what's amazing is in this whole area of non-invasive surgeries with lasers and all kinds of new machines, it seems like every few months there's something new. There's so much research and innovation going on in that area.
There's so much. It's insane how much there is. The challenge comes with sifting through what's legit. So once you're able to sift through what's legit, and as a practice owner, like a med spa owner, I look at what's legitimate and what niche it serves in the skin aging and skincare and problem skin market. I look at devices and say, what will that serve, and does that new device serve the market, our client base, better or not? And that's how we make decisions. And sometimes we think, oh no, we've got body shaping. We thought we had body shaping covered off with Exilus and Vanquish. No, we've got that segment of the market. And then, cool sculpting, bam. Well, there's a better mousetrap. So, you jump on that one as a business owner because that's what gives your clients the best result. Right now, cool sculpting is the it girl for body shaping, or it guy for our male clients.
Well, all I'm thinking is that you guys must do an awful lot of training, because I know how meticulous you are about training and certifying everybody who works with you.
Well, it's really easy for us because my business partner, Chantel Ward, is also a registered nurse. She's also a clinical trainer. She's on contract. So training's really easy for us. We get it all the time. It's presented to Chantel and then therefore presented to our team and by osmosis. And because she does a lot of work, both Canada and U.S., with the big laser manufacturers and pharma that have a cosmetics division, her eyes are open and her ears are open to what's brewing and what's new and, what's working and what has challenges and what's not quite there yet but up and coming. So that part's really exciting too.
You're glad to have her on your team. We're glad to have you on our What She Said team, because that way we're on top of what's hot and what's the latest. Now, as you mentioned earlier, for some of our listeners across the country, find a reputable place. But for people who are in your neighborhood, we can send them to claritymedspa.ca.
claritymedspa.ca. And if you're in another part of the world or the continent, wherever you are, and if you're not sure, I always put it out there to your listeners. They can email me directly at email@claritymedspa.ca. So there's more than one Clarity Med Spa worldwide. Go to the one in Toronto. Email me, put attention Laser Linda, because that's what I get called, and ask me your question. And if we know someone in your market, there's a good chance not me, Chantel can guide you. We answer those emails, and we probably get one a week, which I think is pretty good.
Yeah, that's amazing to find somebody reputable.
Yeah.
And that's the name of the game.
Click the channel subscribe button for full-length interviews and more from What She Said here on YouTube.